Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Warped, the completely unnecessary Star Trek podcast where we do unasked for audio commentaries of Star Trek episodes. My name is Shawn.
My name is Matt.
I'm Jake.
Aaron.
Minh.
Not me.
Yeah. Back again, everybody. Rolling through season 2 of Star Trek The Next Generation. We're up to episode 7, Unnatural Selection. And I got 45 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock, and I'm punching the triangle in 3, 2, 1, punch.
Yeah. I feel like we're starting to get our rhythm, guys, like even without Philippe.
Well, he was always the anchor holding us down anyways, so.
Oh, well, it's tough seas out there, so sometimes you want that anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 140 episodes, and we're getting that groove.
Oh my god!
But
when you put it like that,
It's only taken 2.5 years to get here.
when did we start?
Some people never make it here.
2000? No, it's been longer than that, hasn't it? Didn't we start in 2000?
My dogs were a lot less dusty.
Well, it's been
pristine Dugs.
Dusty year for sure.
Yeah.
This is a fucking Dr. Pulaski focused episode.
Well, and it's also a classic Star Trek story because it's all about the disease that makes people old.
Yeah, it's that same.
I got that.
They did this on the old show.
Yep.
The Deadly Years.
Yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah, the Deadly Years. They might have done more than one where they got old. I can't remember.
I think so, yeah.
This one's the antithesis of Star Trek babies. This is Star Trek Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Star Trek Cocoon. Doesn't the footage look like old? I mean, are the maybe more recent episodes have looked like they were better lit or shot. I don't know.
It looks the way it always looks.
Yeah.
Your computer's just fucking up.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe everyone else is getting old around me.
Maybe your computer can't buffer Riker's beard in season 2. Like, can't compute. He looks good, though.
Always does. Maintains a nice manscaping.
Oh, he's got a trim one there, yeah. But he had people doing that for him.
What? Really? You don't... Wait. What do you think men let other people trim them?
I think professional actors have to go to hair and makeup every day.
Right.
And
Whoa.
Cleaned up.
Hair and makeup isn't like taking care of like everything, are they? Like,
well, anything that shows on camera.
They would definitely trim his beard for sure.
Yeah.
He might take a pass at it, but they're gonna
clean it up.
They're gonna, George Michael.
No, I don't know why I was.
It's
thinking
interesting
about
though. I listened to the
Yeah, I knew that's what you meant, man, and I was just ignoring you.
Just sorry.
Yeah, we all knew what you meant. That's why we said, where you wouldn't see it. They're not going to.
Oh gosh. They be waxing too.
Yeah. I mean, they have an onset.
His chest hairs? What about his chest hairs? Are they trimming that?
We know they don't do that because you can see the little tufts sticking out of his collar.
But how do you know that they didn't it wasn't more pronounced before?
Maybe they just added that yak hair that they added on.
Yeah, that'd make him look manly.
They actually just brush it up to make sure it shows.
Gel it.
Yeah.
All right. So we're watching Season 2, Episode 7, Unnatural Selection. Original air date January 28th, 1989. Enhanced DNA developments trigger an epidemic of rapid aging. Caught amongst its victims, Dr. Pulaski.
Uh-oh.
And what do you think?
She's already old, so she can't really afford to be getting too much.
What do you think the IMDb rating of this episode is?
You mean a distinguished professional with a lot of years of expertise?
I mean, that's one way to say it.
I'm going to say, I have no idea. We'll just say 6.8.
Oh, that's a nice.
6.1.
I'll give it a flat 6.
Ooh.
Then win.
Oh, what's the most unnatural number? 0.
6.5.
Oh,
Solid D.
it's
too high.
Yeah, this episode is.
Sean, you didn't ask
slog.
May what she thought.
She said
I just
7.
heard
She said 7.
Oh, did she?
I heard her. I heard her.
I actually
Was
don't.
looking at that.
ignoring her. So I believe,
How I feel,
if I'm
man.
not mistaken, the most exciting thing about this episode is the first time Chief O'Brien has a name.
Oh yes, that was cool.
Do they just call him Chief O'Brien, or do they call
Yeah.
him?
They call him Chief O'Brien. But,
That was cool. Yeah,
When do you find out that his first name is Miles?
that I don't know.
that's a great bit of trivia. I wonder.
Even talking about right now.
The transporter chief. Cole
The
Meany. Is that name
curly-haired, redheaded guy.
Oh my
Irish?
God.
You don't know?
Nothing you're saying means anything to her right now.
Oh.
You're gonna have to say.
It's like you're talking in a foreign language. You're just like
I'm like.
you're like the teacher in Charlie Brown. She just is hearing like noises. From,
So you know how Star Trek has a long history of racism against the Irish?
Yes.
This is when they start to make reparations for that
That's right.
by sort of bringing people into the cast. They give him a name.
No, I haven't seen him before.
Yes. He's been
Yeah,
on
we've-
this show from the
we've-
beginning. But,
Oh, but now
this
he
is the
in
first
spots.
episode in which he
I
actually
think I
has
can
a
picture
name.
him in my mind now, but I'll have to wait until he shows on screen.
Hmm.
He's not currently on the screen, correct?
That is correct.
He looks like a fucking Mick. He's Irish.
He's very
Yeah.
Irish.
I know who that is.
Isn't that a derogatory term?
Yeah, it is. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the
I just thought it was funny because Star Trek is always so always has such a bug up their ass about Irish people for some reason.
That's old school.
Yeah, we're bridging a new
Gene
bridge here.
Roddenberry just hated him for some.
Once he was out of the picture, they could start treating the Irish well.
Was Gene passed by now? I feel like
He
we've.
had not died yet, no, but he really had very little control of the show at this point.
Didn't we learn that the last character he created was the Whoopi Goldberg one?
Maybe, I don't know. Was that in the article you read?
Recurring character. I think so. I think I came across that.
Well, then that was a good idea.
Mm.
He had one last good idea.
Oh no!
Oh,
Look at
my
them.
God.
Hey, talking about actors that have great roles, Sean.
These guys,
These guys. What do you think?
well, yeah, but they don't get paid much because they just have to lay there. I like the ones where you actually are on screen a lot. And you have to move, but you don't have to talk.
Do you know how hard it is to not move?
Should we
Although-
drink for these guys? They are Starfleet and they have died.
We didn't really know them, and they're sort of.
Yeah, but
not-
you don't rarely know the people that die when they're red shirts.
Yeah, they always bring in somebody and then
It's
kill them.
always some
That's
rando.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But they're not crew though.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Was that
Well, you people are really trying to stop me
I'm really
from
drawing the
drinking.
lines.
Yeah.
You. I'm
Yeah.
gonna drink
This is an
anyway.
intervention.
Yeah, I just went ahead and drank while you guys were
Yeah.
arguing about it.
I don't
Oh,
know what the hell I was thinking.
it's like a gourd. All those bumps.
Yeah, that's not a good look with all the little bumps on him.
Does that happen when you get older? Do you get a lot of bumps?
I've got.
Have you never seen an old person before?
I try not to.
I don't think generally they're riddled with bumps.
Wow. The ageist argument really had a lot of divides there. Some for and some against. We saw where people's allegiances lay. Dr. Pulaski doesn't look that old. I think she just conducts herself in an older manner.
She wasn't that old in real life. I was just making a joke. I think we said she was 50 when she
Yeah.
Probably
the
about
actress.
right. Yeah.
But she looks younger than that, I would say.
So at this point in time, she would have been 51.
I
Do you
think she
think-
looks 50.
Do you think Riker
Yeah, I think
tried to
she
throw
looks about
moves
that.
her way?
She's still very.
Maybe if she had a different haircut that wasn't so like old lady-ish, she would look a little younger.
Yeah, that's like the hairstyle my mom had all through the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, but your mom was once young. Come on.
And my
Perms.
mom was like in her 30s in the 80s.
And it made her look older.
Yeah, it really did. She had that old lady perm.
There's something about perms, man. It was a thing.
Have you seen photos of your mom when she was younger?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was she hot?
What?
Was she in on Min's table or?
What a fun question.
Min's just like, so Shawn, what's your mom's like situation or whatever?
Yeah.
She's married now.
Oh, okay. Well,
She-
they can
she-
be. They
I
can.
know. My mom was
Yeah.
single for a long time.
Mhm.
And she's like, is she married or is she like married?
Yeah, right.
Does it like seem like it's gonna last a while?
Like, is the store completely closed, or
I'll bring up her name in
Still
conversation, man. Actually, we're gonna be. You can come out to lunch with us or something. You can put your moves on.
I don't. I'm feeling a little rusty. I might have to do some VR first. So I don't know. Yeah, it's been like a long time for me, guys. I don't know if I got it still. So, do you think Philippe is available for some training sessions?
Training sessions?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
training in what, man?
Hitting on
Yeah.
Everybody get
On
your
people's
cards
moms?
out. Everybody get your cards out. Just get,
I'll have to say yes, definitely. What do you think of that hairdo?
Wow, they got a lot of old mom hairdos going on here. Hmm.
I have a picture of my parents when they were dating before they got married. They were like 23 or 24, something like that.
Nice.
And they're so attractive. I'm just like, look how young and hot they were,
That's what I'm saying. Like even us, we were young and attractive.
Yeah, you guys don't. Not everybody saw those pictures, but some pictures went around the other day of some of us when we were in our 20s, and it was a real shock to be reminded how
You know what
beautiful.
shocked me is when you
How
renew
beautiful
your
we used to be.
passport. That's a real marker. You're like, I look the same. No, renew your passport and then look at the old passport photo and then look at the new one. That'll really wake you up.
I saw a thing on Twitter yesterday that said Will Wheaton is old. It said if you want to feel old, consider that Will Wheaton today is older than Patrick Stewart was
What?
when he started the show.
in the first season of Star Trek.
Man.
Oh.
Has everyone seen the Mark Hamill, Patrick Stewart Uber Eats commercial?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yes, I have.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
They're talking about a Star Wars, Star Trek. I don't know how serious he is, but I guess Patrick Stewart was
Crossover?
saying he'd like to see a crossover.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't think those
Then
two
I'd really
worlds
be confused.
exist.
It would be very confusing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess they'd have to go back in time. Star Trek would have to go back in time.
They can do that sometimes.
They
right?
can. They do. They go back in time.
I mean, feels
They
like
went
a
back
lot.
for whales,
Yeah.
as you'll recall, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
You can really see the stars reflected in the conference table in the shot.
Nice.
Beautiful.
For a ship that's
Really?
supposed to be moving, those stars are relatively still out there.
Don't you know anything about space, Shawn?
Maybe they've got it in park. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. They got
They
they threw Philippe out.
Exactly.
Thanks, Aaron.
On that show where they have the custodians, they could show them really shining that desk with end dust.
But even realistically in space, the stars aren't moving very quickly because they're so far away, aren't they?
That's true, but they're moving pretty fast, though. No.
Okay. Hmm.
Stars that are closer will move.
There should be, unless they're totally stopped. You would think there would be some motion.
Sure.
Food for thought.
Min's not wrong. Min's not wrong though. They do move faster than
Well, for warp
stars.
speed.
Stars are vast distances from each other.
Sure.
So like relatively, you don't like see the stars move. You know,
But
astronauts in orbit don't see the stars move.
yeah, but just no human
except as they move in and out of.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nobody's
Well,
really
then
moved
I
as
guess
fast
I'm the
as
asshole.
these people.
no.
It's a great question. I'm pondering it right now. That guy.
There he is.
O'Brien? Okay.
There he
Brian.
is.
Yeah.
O'Brien.
He's got that sharp Federation sideburn.
He does. He has the curve.
I did picture the right guy because he's the guy who's in movies too, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Cole Meany is his name, the actor's name.
Yeah.
What movie are you thinking, Aaron?
Some movies from the 90s, right? Where he
He
played.
was in I think what was that band? The one about the funk band in
Yeah,
Ireland.
he's in the Commitments, right?
Yeah. Stuff like
that's
that.
right.
And he was in a bunch of movies that guy's made, that guy directed.
Yeah.
Isn't he in Gangs in New York too?
Yes.
I've never seen it, but that sounds like something he'd be in if in one of the gangs Irish.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Dude, they got a life-size Ken doll.
Yeah. Are they? What's happening here, guys?
Why
What's the
is he all
story?
wrapped in plastic
So
like that?
so this
Are they
guy
making
is so
fun?
the little
He's a
planet,
baby.
the DNA they're doing DNA tests and all the people are getting old, but there's these kids and they thought it was gonna be like a child, but he's actually quite grown because of the DNA manipulation. They've created like these perfect children, and they don't seem to have the disease because they're not aging like everybody else is.
Why
So
are they so big?
So they've put this thing around to sort of keep, if he is infected, it would keep them from getting it. But they can then study him. And
It's
see
a COVID mask. Is what
Yes,
you're
that's
saying.
right.
Mm-mm.
It's a full body COVID mask.
Yeah,
He's like
Later
he's
related.
alive.
he is alive. Yes,
He
Okay.
looks like Brandon Fraser.
they've put him in stasis.
And he's supposed to be a perfect specimen?
Yeah, they've created these genetically superior people.
Matt, does he look like a grower or a shower to you?
Hold on, I'm checking my card. I'm checking my Mingo card just to make sure that's not on there.
It's not on there.
It is
How much stuff do you have on your Mingo cards, guys?
I can't even use my Mingo card anymore. It's too crusted over.
Oh, you've been jerking off with it. Ugh, Jacob.
I mean, I can't even pick it up right now. I just snap.
Snap.
Don't shine a black light on the Mingo card.
What is Dr. Pulaski so emphatic about? Anyone watch? Anyone?
She's
know?
trying to save their lives with, they're trying to, they don't want Picard's like, I can't risk this ship getting the disease and everyone getting old and dying.
Yeah.
I also understand you want to save people's lives, but we got to, mitigate risk. And he's like, look, if you can do it, because now she wants to take him out of stasis. And because
He
passed.
doesn't like her. He's pissed off.
Mm.
He doesn't like her just as much as I don't like her.
Poor Pulaski. I mean, she's just trying to do her job.
Yeah, doctors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is good because she starts talking to Deanna about how to get on Picard's good side.
Why doesn't Picard like me? Because you're a fucking idiot. It's because you're mean.
Good job, writers. You created a strong character that people feel strongly about.
I wish Deanna would just be like, it's because you're so mean all the time that he doesn't like you.
Well, Picard wasn't that nice in the beginning.
No, but
That's
here's the thing. She says you two are too much alike. That's
Yeah.
why you both have strong
Perhaps two of you
personalities.
aren't
I have
all
a
that
hard time
different.
warming up to Picard because I'm just like, this is the guy we're supposed to be like all about. I mean, I like him. He's got a presence, but he wasn't you know.
No, that's true.
Mean
He's
to children.
definitely he was more of a hard ass.
I
in
think
the
being
early 80s.
mean to Will Wheaton is worse than being mean to Data, because at least Will Wheaton like knows when someone's being mean to him.
I disagree with that, but I understand what you're saying. I'm 100% on board with being mean to Will.
Aw,
You never
Poor
see it.
Will.
Or
poor
Will
Wesley. What did he
Yeah.
ever do wrong?
Will Wheaton.
Shut up, Wesley.
That is funny when he tells him to shut up, like Greg Goose says.
It's funny that they made this computer like just very old school, like something old people would prefer to have. Right? It doesn't seem new at
Jitterbug
all.
Of
It
computer.
looks like an old original Mac or something.
Apple IIe thereabouts.
Mhm.
That's what I did my best Oregon Trail on.
They don't make them like that anymore. Didn't they make a new school Oregon Trail?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming around again, and there's a board game too. Maybe there always was, but I always played it on the computer.
There's a card game too, like a trading card game.
Ooh.
I'm expecting there to be like a Renaissance fair, like actual traveling caravan one day once this coronavirus
Yeah.
thing.
Where they have to go to the store and stock up on all their stuff.
Yeah.
That was
They
my
should do a reality show where
Spend all this money on.
people have to do the Oregon Trail.
Yeah. With like wagons.
in the way it was done at the time.
Sure, covered wagons and
All
Mhm.
that stuff.
you'd have to get a bunch of hard pone and
Yeah.
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 backpack and
Whatever it was.
And to give it a
Stuff
twist,
to
everyone
eat.
should be naked.
Now it's just sounds.
What? You gotta have a twist. You gotta like
that just
nowadays.
becomes naked and afraid.
Yeah, but on the Oregon Trail, naked.
So
and...
this is naked and infected with cholera.
Never been myself to watch Naked and Afraid. I'm just like, I can't do it.
What? You don't have to do it. You were just watching other people.
I
You
know,
watched.
for
You
some
go-
reason, just
you
the
watch
looking
Criminal
at it
Files
on
The
the
about
problem with it
murderers.
for- I know the problem with it for you, Aaron, is nobody dies on that show. And without a little bit of murder, Aaron has no desire to watch it.
And
Yeah,
afraid
he
you
Hard,
needs
did.
to-
hard to capture
show
her
or murder
attention.
show.
Well, I mean, those are high stakes there, I suppose. One day.
I don't mind that show. It's okay. I just don't feel the need to relive my childhood.
Wait, which show now? Naked and Afraid, or
No. Forensic Files.
oh,
Those days as a forensics expert for the FBI and
or is a
Jake
case
was
study?
6.
Hmm.
There we
He
go.
solved many a cold
Big
crime.
Hmm.
There's a shuttle Sakharov. It's a very rarely used shuttle component to the show. It's fun.
I don't know. It makes me feel like it's like one of them old school RVs that your parents would, dream about having when they
That's
retire.
what it looks like on the inside.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Right. On the outside, a little bit too. Maybe a little extra LED
I'm
light.
feeling this, you guys. This is good. It's working for me. Yay!
They tried to make this the Las Vegas VR ride, but it was
Yeah.
really boring.
I was like, ooh, we're taking off.
You didn't like the VR ride at the Star Trek?
I never went. I'm just making poking
Yeah,
porn.
did anybody ever go? Matt, did you ever do it?
No.
He refuses to answer.
He's on.
It's like I plead the fifth.
He needed to get higher.
He's on his way to Vegas right now.
Huh? What are you talking about?
VR. Star
Did you
Trek.
ever ride the Star Trek ride in Vegas?
No, I never did. I don't know why. I guess I must have never. I don't know why I never did. I
Remind
guess
me,
I just
You know
never.
what it at?
It was at the Hilton,
Okay.
the Las Vegas Hilton, which is off the strip, so it's not
Yeah, that's not
on
one I
the
would
strip. You
frequent.
couldn't really walk to it.
Yeah. But
It was
I
actually
enjoyed VR. I think I would have liked it even if I didn't know what was going on. With
so
Star-
it was like a Star Tours type was the ride, so it was like motion.
Great. I love that
But
kind of stuff.
What was cool about it is it had this like cool opening. So you're in line, you go into a room which looks like a standard, like you're loading in to one of those types of vehicle, like at Star Tours. It looks like the Star Tours line. And you're standing there, and all of a sudden all the lights go off. And then the lights come back on. The room has changed. And these actors come out, and they're basically like they've beamed you aboard the Enterprise D, because one of you is a relative of Picard, and so like you got turned into the future to kill one of you so that Picard would never be born. This is the premise of, and then they walk you through the bridge. They put you on the bridge, and eventually you get to an actual, like, where you're riding around in a one of the vehicle they're in here, the shuttle. So
Cool.
it was cool.
Maybe they'll reboot it someday.
No, that's not happening.
No?
No.
Jesus.
Well,
Yeah, it was supposed to be really cool because like then at the end of the ride you end up in Quark's, right? And you could have a drink and Quark's bar and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was cool. They had a Quark's bar, and they had Matt's the only one who'll get this, Garrick's Closure. They had like but they had someone in there that was in costume as Garrick.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just don't see the Star Trek fandom having the same rabidness as the Star Wars fandom. People love to dress up.
But VR seems to be even more.
Oh man, you need to
go to the Star
you're not
Trek
spending enough time on Twitter because I follow a lot of Star Trek people, and the Star Trek cosplay is intense. Well, we showed you all those pictures of the cat ladies.
Yeah. But I suppose when you're doing, you're choosing sort of like tertiary characters. Like the main crew is just you've just got mainly the outfit, the Star Trek uniform, right? Or the Starfleet uniform. It doesn't quite.
Yeah, if you're just gonna dress up in a uniform just to have a uniform on, but there's lots of different aliens in Star Trek you can dress up.
Yeah.
Speaking of tertiary characters, I read an article this week.
Yeah.
Is it article time?
Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? There's this character named Zahn.
Yes.
Do we know about Zahn?
Yes.
Well, most people don't, because he was made to be the replacement of Spock back when Leonard Nimoy was like, screw this Star Trekness, I'm out. And then Leonard Nimoy came back, and so they're like, sorry, Zahn, we're not going to use you anymore. So he never made it to screen.
Wow.
Until this week's Lower Decks, where they reference him in a joke. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know what Zahn is now because of this one joke and this article. You're welcome.
That guy must be so bitter.
He actually did make it on screen. He's very briefly in Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Okay.
And then he dies in a transporter.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that character. They use the same actor who's going to play him, but he's like a different character, I think. I think that's what the article said.
Oh, it's not Zahn, but it's the dude.
But okay.
Is this the end of Dr. Pulaski? Is this she's gotten the disease?
Unfortunately, not.
Oh.
Oh,
She's gonna survive. Look, even now, Chief O'Brien gets to be in the big room.
Yeah, there were a lot of people missing from the earlier conference. No Geordi, no.
I just posted a picture of my parents in 1970 into the chat.
Oh my God.
What mom and dad looked like.
Min's going to be all over your mom now.
Oh, that's hilarious. Like your dad makes me think of you, actually.
Yeah, your dad does look like you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, my dad and I look quite a bit like my mom too. I'm kind of a mix of both of them visually.
Yeah, no, I don't want to imagine your mom as you. All right, I'm fine with your mom as being just your mom. But I love the Beetle in back as well, the Volkswagen Beetle. That is like old school cool.
Yeah, that was 1970. That was so they would have been 24. I think that's the year they got married. Is 1970.
Nice.
Your dad's got the pose on where I almost expect him to have like a cigarette rolled up in his t-shirt sleeve.
He's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah,
in
he's
the picture.
smoking a cigarette, but like how they have the cigarette packs in their sleeves.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like James Dean or something.
He's got.
My dad was a little bit of a bad boy.
Yeah, it looks like it.
He was kind of a troublemaker.
Like Baba Lightside.
My
No,
parents
no,
got
I was
married
not-
in 1960, so their picture looks very different.
Oh yeah.
What? What'd you say, Aaron?
My parents recently celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary.
Uh-huh.
So I recently saw some photos of them from that day. It's more like the beginning of Mad Men.
Yeah, so that would have been like the
Black
early
and
60s.
white.
That would have been 1960, right? If
Yeah.
it was 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds super cool.
Yeah, I'll pull it one of these days when I'm pulling photos again.
Mhm.
This episode's boring
It kind of is.
There's nothing going on.
Yeah,
That's
6'5".
because all it is she goes down
Well,
there.
this, though,
Yep.
She has to
so
solve
these
the
are all the
it's like
Kids.
kindergarten.
Mm.
Look at all these
They have
pretty,
magic
beautiful,
powers.
awesome people. All right, that's enough. That's enough of them.
We wouldn't want to spend any more time with those characters.
let's look at all the people that are old and decaying in front of our eyes.
And the only tension in this episode is that she has to figure out the cure before she herself dies, right?
Right.
That's
Yeah,
basically all there
otherwise-
is to it. And the reason Miles is such a big part of this episode is because they use the transporter to fix the problem.
Oh, they they grab the jeans or something from before.
Yeah, it's
Something like that,
standard
some
Star Trek nonsense where they're like,
Gobbledygook.
we have your original young
Yeah.
DNA pattern saved in the transporter
Hell yeah.
data banks.
Whoa.
So we'll just reload you into a younger body.
That works.
So is plastic surgery like through the teleporters then in Star Trek land?
Well, that was always Philippe's question, right? Wouldn't you ask him to
Yeah.
like take out 15 pounds every time you beamed?
Right.
Hmm.
I think
That's
you're
what-
supposed to assume that Starfleet has the people on
They
Starfleet.
banned that.
No, that they're sort of like beyond that sort of thing, you know.
It's like why, like you say, why is Picard bald? Because nobody cares.
Hmm. Well, but then you would think that there would be more diversity or experimentation, more choice. No, maybe I don't know. Be an interesting society to imagine. Like if no one cared what you look like, would you be pretty stock or would you be out there?
Well, that's a good question, Min.
Mm.
So when you're let's say you're playing a video game,
Yeah.
and it's one of those video games where you get to sort of design how you're going to look.
Mm-hmm.
Do you design a relatively normal looking person?
Good question. Yeah.
Or do you design like a crazy weirdo looking person?
I don't know. I think
Because
it
usually
depends
they have
on.
a full range of
Mhm.
like options for you
Mhm.
to choose.
I think I
And
had
if you
made
want,
my.
You can make your person look real straight.
I want to say I'm gonna go for the weird, but to be honest, my female shepherd was pretty standard and attractive, and yeah, it was something that I was like, oh yeah, I want to play this person. They appeal to me, so
Yeah, my female shepherd was kind of the stock redhead
Mhm.
shepherd. That's like the pre-built model for you.
mhm.
I don't think I made a lot of changes to her. But then one time I decided to play her as bad, so I chose all the red choices instead of the blue
Mhm.
choices.
Mhm.
And so I knew I was going to do that before I started. So at that time I made her look all badass. I think she had like a
What game is
mohawk
it?
and shit.
Mass Effect,
Mass Effect.
so sci-fi.
I think I gave her a weirder look when I knew that I was going to play her as sort of a more extreme character.
Mhm.
Fun. It's good to have options.
Who are those guys?
Yeah.
Where's Wesley?
Whoa, Dr. Pulaski,
Yeah.
you had a bender last
Put on
night.
some lipstick. Good God. Not dead yet.
I mean, there is such a thing as aging gracefully.
Have some respect. Jeez. We got to look at you, lady.
Oh,
I mean, they do a really good job of aging her.
this shit is coming for all of us, you guys. We shouldn't be making jokes.
Fuck you. I'm living forever.
You
So,
might live forever,
I'm
but you're not
pissed.
gonna look. You're not gonna look the same forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
I gotta say, the only reason why it just reminded me of, I've been watching Parks and Rec.
Ooh.
And it got fucking taken off of Netflix. I'm so pissed.
Where is it now?
Oh, they must have moved it to Peacock.
Oh,
I don't know where they moved it to, but
I
it's
can't
on.
download another app, you guys. It's not happening.
And it's on Hulu, but you have to like have a special account for it. I don't know. I don't have
Hulu
the right
Plus.
account for it. So
Oh, that's terrible. How far did you get?
I got to the beginning of season 4, and I was really starting to just really love that show. Rob Lowe.
yeah.
Once Rob Lowe and Adam Scott join, it's
Yeah.
and it just made me. The reason why I said that, I thought about Rob Lowe's character, who's convinced he's the first person going to live to be 150.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's funny.
Now you're just gonna have to go and.
I will say my only complaint about that show: why do they have to treat Jerry like such shit?
Yeah.
So-
There's always a Jerry on those
It's
shows.
unnecessary
What's
to be
Jerry
so
again?
mean to Jerry.
If you stick with it, like they give there's the Adam Scott episodes where they kind of like explore that, and
Oh,
he's kind of
really?
like, I don't get why you guys are so mean to him, and he totally kind of comes to his defense. And
Yeah.
anyway, I don't want to spoil it, but
Okay.
There's also an episode that you probably haven't gotten to where you see what Jerry's life is like outside of the
Okay.
office,
Okay.
and his life outside the office is so wonderful in all kinds of
Oh,
funny
yeah, I
ways
remember
that
that.
I don't want to
Gotcha.
spoil it,
I
but
gotcha,
when
yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
what his life is like outside
You
work,
don't feel as
you
bad that
realize why he just lets all that shit just roll,
roll
off
off his back. Got
It
it.
doesn't bother him at all.
It is a charmed life. Yeah. That's
Is
right.
there a Jerry on Warped here? Who's the Jerry?
Me.
You have to ask.
Well, Shawn volunteered himself.
I think so. Yeah, I'm usually the punching bag around the war.
No, I would say Min is.
I would say men.
Oh, no way. Vin gets punished because
For different
deserving.
reasons.
Oh, you're saying he had it coming, but you
Yeah,
don't.
exactly.
Okay.
I mean, I don't watch it, so I don't know if I can. I have no data points to agree with or not.
But
that's a good
otherwise, Ron Swanson's the greatest guy ever.
Oh yeah.
I want to be him when I grow up. I like the episode where he said, "Bring me all of the eggs and bacon you have," and I want to repeat that because I don't think you understood me the first
Sure
time.
you heard me, son.
Bring me all of the bacon and eggs that you have.
Would you say you identify with the Ron Swanson character, Shawn? Because I feel like Matt might.
No, Shawn is much more of a Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I because he's he's lazy and doesn't like people fucking with him, but he's also a good guy. Like he cares about his friends and but mostly just wants to be left alone.
That's why we like the Making It show too. That he does
the podcast?
Polar.
Oh,
They do
it's
a
an actual
Making It
show.
reality
Yeah,
show
a
where
crafts
they
show.
do crafts. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it's good. It's got they kind of like have their friendship that they've developed from all the years making the show, and it kind of just carries over into like very playful banter.
Who is the other person?
It's
Amy Poehler.
Oh, it's the two of them. Oh, okay.
yeah, it's the two of them. Yeah,
Are they married?
No, he's married. Or are they still married? Him and Megan Mullally?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Who plays his ex-wife on the show?
Tammy.
Tammy too.
Oh yeah.
Why are they going through her things? Oh, they need DNA.
The thing you said about the DNA and the transporter, they
Uh-huh.
actually didn't have it. They're trying to get it now.
Oh, I remember, right? Because she doesn't like the transporter, so they didn't have her fucking pattern saved like they
Yeah.
would anybody else.
So they had to find DNA. So they found us.
Which is just
I love how they're
like
just doing one shots of everybody's reaction as they see like Worf's like,
I'm gonna do that for
oh,
Halloween.
her forehead's almost rigid enough for me now.
Yeah.
which is just another step in them being like, oh, she is like a new Bones, because like that was another Bones trait that they just copied to her.
They just cut and paste right onto her, the not liking the transporter thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Does she? It's like she is the main character in this episode, but she's not even the one who solves the problem. Like they're solving the problem for her while she's up.
Well, she figured out what could fix it. I think she figured out that because she figured out why. Well, actually, Data really more figured it out, but they figured out what was happening, which allowed them to figure out what they could do to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But
one way.
But after that, she just wants to kind of like, well, I brought this on myself. We're good.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
And now Picard is saying, everybody else go somewhere else so that if she comes back and she's infected, I'll be the only one infected.
Gravitas.
You'd think they could run the transporter like remote control from another room,
Or apparently there's some sort of outfit.
Apparently you have to be standing right
They
there.
always do it on their. I guess there's somebody standing at the board that does it. But when they chirp and they're like, beam me to this room, and then they just get beamed straight there. So I guess there's somebody standing there that does it.
But couldn't he wear like a biohazard suit or something?
Well, they could, but
No.
she's still old.
Oh,
More power.
yeah.
Use some-
Make the teleporter interesting and suspenseful.
This is
Chief
dumb.
Yeah. Well, and it's like she's gonna survive, so that it's always that's the problem with like sometimes when they try to put the main characters in peril because you're almost 100% sure that they're gonna survive.
Well, that's always true. It's just whether they do it in a way that's interesting to watch or not.
Yeah.
Suddenly they're friends.
Yep. Well, he talked to her old captain who really talked her up, so
And she's wearing lipstick again, so thank God.
Picard's like, I hate old people just as much as I hate children, but now that you look normal again, I guess you're okay.
Mm. Well, he had a comparison, so this is a much better Pulaski than Doughboy Pulaski from earlier.
Sounds like a boxer.
Does.
Like
Dodo Pulaski.
From like
I recall
the century.
the Ballad of Pulaski.
Well, it feels like thankfully this episode is coming to an end. Wow.
They were able to save the planet.
Was that planet named after someone famous? Gagarin 4?
Yeah, it's
sounds
after
like it.
Yuri Gagarin,
Yeah.
first man in space.
His seed traveled far.
Oh, this is the action moment that you were waiting this whole episode for.
Yeah. Blow it up.
They're blowing it up because it's full of virus or whatever.
Yes, exactly. They had a cool thing, and they had the ability to mark it as like a quarantine ship. So it had and it had a loud voice that was saying, "Stay away, ship under quarantine."
Oh, Worf gets to use the photon torpedoes.
That is his favorite thing to do.
Worf's
pretty
like,
much.
finally, I get to blow something up.
Yeah. He's just sad he doesn't get to kill people when he's doing it though.
Yeah,
You can
they're already dead. So
It's kind of an empty gesture. He's like, okay, well, okay.
I guess they're all standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
That warning is something that we should broadcast at the beginning of our podcast. Just to let people know.
This podcast contains.
This podcast has been quarantined by the order of Starfleet.
Yeah. we should do it for like a few episodes, and yeah, just then we should pretend like we're all old. Wait, there's no pretending there. We can just be normal.
Body hurts.
You'd have to do it's a purely audio medium, so you would have to do your old man voice, man.
We all have to talk like this.
Shawn's got it. I would be like this. Now I want everyone's old man voice, old person voice. Yeah.
I want to do an old lady's voice, though.
Jacob,
I'm going to do the queen.
she is old.
Go ahead, Minh.
I had my old man voice already.
Okay.
Yes.
As people who have acting experience, we should be much better.
We should be
but-
ashamed.
Oh well,
I thought we did pretty good. You know, we're
it's passable.
Well, when all you've got for character trait is old person, there's only so much you can work with.
Right.
well, I don't know. You know what they say? No small roles, no small
Genitalia.
No small old people.
No small starships.
Yeah, they say all of that. Well, we made it. We made it, guys.
Yeah.
We made it.
Flawless victory.
That's cool.
Well, someone pull the plug on this, and we can take it out.
Nobody has any recommendations? You don't have a corrections corner, Matt?
I do, but I can save it for next week.
All right. Well, then button it up.
Thank you very much for listening. Please please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. You can go to Instagram at Warped the Podcast, on Twitter at Warped Trek. You can follow me on Twitter at Host Warped. You can follow Minh to learn about our Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu podcasts at Wet Maynard. Our merch is on Instagram at lunar_flare, and we are on patreon.com/warped. Become a patron and get access to bonus content and additional episodes. Back to you, Shawn.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you all for listening. Next week, we'll be doing a matter of honor, so come on back for that. And unless anybody has anything else they'd like to add, my name is Shawn.
My name is Matt.
I'm Jake.
Aaron.
Minwin.
That me.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.